We start in this lecture our discussion about automata. And what I would like to start with is an intuitive impression of what automata do. And to do that, I would like to propose that we think about the following problem. Problem is, given a text, find out if the word alto is part of the text. And just to simplify things, I'm going to assume, it's not essential, but I'm going to assume that all are capital letters. And there are no blanks and no punctuation marks. So nothing like commas and dots and things like that. And so let's think a little bit about how we would, go about deciding whether the word alto is part of the text. So what I would argue is that you are going to start reading that text from left to right, starting with the first letter. And you are in this kind of, waiting mode, I would say, in the beginning. So I'm just denoting this is the state that you are in the beginning. So this is your, if you like, the initial state. And I'm indicating this with an arrow. This is where you are starting your search for the word alto. In this state, you are going to start reading, and you read the first letter in that text. And if you are lucky, and that letter is A, then all of a sudden you got a little bit excited. You say, well, I just got my first letter, and now I'm in a different state. I know that I got one letter, A. But if that first letter that you read is not A, then you will say, well, I'm still in the initial phase. I haven't seen any A. So you're going to stay in this state. And so you stay in this one if you read any other letter except A. So any other letter meaning B, C, D, and so on, all the way to Z. And now you went to the second letter. And if you are in this state, again, you are reading the second letter, and if it happens to be A, then again you get a little bit excited. This is the first step towards maybe finding my word alto. So you are going to move to this one. If still the second letter is not an A, then you remain in this state and you continue reading the third letter. Now you do this step by step, and let's say that at some point you are already in this state, meaning that in the previous letter you've read was an A. And now all of a sudden you see that, this is again an A. And you get even more excited because you knew, being in this state, you knew that the previous letter was an A, and now all of a sudden you got another A, so you got two consecutive A's. And it doesn't matter how many letters you had before that, but all of a sudden you were in this state where you knew there was an A, just the previous letter you've read, and now you got a second A, so you get even one step closer to finding maybe your word alto. But if you were in this state, so meaning you had seen an A in the last letter you've read, and the letter that you are currently reading is not an A, but it's something else, then all of a sudden you say, well, I'm back to square one. So I did have an A, but it's not followed by another A, so really I still have to wait for the beginning of my word alto. So this was not the beginning of the word. So any other letter that you might read in this state, and you again go back to sort of saying zero expectation mode. So you go back to square one. But so you now continue reading, and let's say that maybe at some point you find yourself in state 3, meaning that the two previous letters you've read in your text, maybe after a long wait, but the first two previous letters you've read were A, both of them. So that brings you to state 3. And in this state 3, obviously, I mean, if you see a letter L, then you get even more excited. You say, you know, again, one step closer to finding the full word. Now, this is something subtle. If you see another A in here, I would say that you say, well, I mean, this state is about having seen 2 consecutive A's in the previous letters I've had. And if you're in this state and you see another A, then it means that you've seen 3 A's consecutively. But it doesn't matter. For your search, the only thing that matters is that you have 2 consecutive A's. So seeing an A keeps you as close to your target as you were before. So that I'm marking that by this arrow, showing that if I get an A in state 3, I remain in state 3. I remain as close as I was before to finding my target. But really, any other letter that I find in here, so after seeing 2 consecutive A's, I don't see an A, I don't see an L, I see something else altogether, any other letter. And this is going to, again, bring me back to square one. So this was not, the beginning of the word alto. So I have to continue my search if there are any more letters to read. So it's going to bring me back to the initial letter for any other letter except A and L. So if I see anything like B, C, and all the way to K, not letter L, I'm skipping that. So, but any other letter. It's going to bring you to square one. And I continue now with the same reasoning. So you are in state 4, and you are really hoping that the next letter you see is a T. And if that's the case, then again you are one step closer to your target of finding the word alto. If you see any other word, then that's going to again reset your search, and it's going to bring you back to the initial state. So any other state except T is going to reset your search. So any other letter. So anything you might see up to S, letter T, no, that letter is something you would like to see, but anything else is going to reset your search. And in this state, if you are so lucky that the next letter you read is letter O, then you are happy. You will say, yeah, I found my search. I found my word, alto in the text you've read. But any other letter you might read, again, is going to short-circuit your search. So anything else than O, so all the way to N, letter O is fine, but all the other ones are going to reset your search. And in this state, you already have your answer. No matter how many letters might still come, in your input, any other letter is going to keep you in this state where you say, my search is done. I can certainly read to the end, or maybe I even stop now, but certainly I can read to the end, but nothing will change the conclusion. And the conclusion is that really I did find my word alto. And I'm marking this with a double circle, or I might mark it sometimes with an exit arrow, meaning that once I got to this state, then it means that the answer to the question I'm asking is going to be yes. If I finished letters and I was, left in any one of the other states, the answer is going to be no, you didn't find. So this is also the output here is going to be yes. So that's another way of what I wrote here by double circle, what I wrote here by an exiting arrow. This is all to say that the output that I'm going to give to the question is going to be yes, alto is part of your text. But if you're reading letter by letter left you in any other state, then the output is going to be no, alto was not as a word part of your text. And so I also, another way of saying, that this is the state that finishes the computation with answer yes, is also to say that this is a so-called final state. So final for my yes computation. So this is the notion of a final state, and this was the notion of the initial state. All of these things, they are going to be defined formally in our next lecture, but I want to introduce all these concepts already now using this intuitive example. And so if I have a word, say just the word alto, so obviously the way this is going to look like as a computation. So the computation is going to be this: I'm in state 1, I'm always in state 1 in the beginning. And then I'm reading letter by letter the word alto, assuming that this was the word in my input. And so with letter A, from state 1 I go to state 2, and then once I'm in state 2 with letter A, I go in state 3. In state 3 I go to letter 4 with letter L, and then I go to state 5, and then I go to state 6, and that's the end. That's the end of my computation, and 6 is the final state. So in this case, I'm going to say that the word alto is recognized. And again, this is a concept I'm going to define formally in the next lecture. But here is another example. If I want to think about the word alon. So I do a similar computation. So I always start from the initial state, 1. And with letter A, I check here, just like before, I go into state 2. And then once I'm in state 2, I read the next letter of the word. That's an A. So that brings me to state 3. And in state 3, I read the next letter, which is L. So that brings me to state 4, just like before. And once I'm in state 4, the next letter I have to read is this L here, the second L in my word. And I check. In state 4, the idea was that if I see a T, I do something, but if I see anything else, it's going to bring me to state 1. So this second L is going to bring me to state 1. And then the next letter I'm reading is O, and in state 1, the idea was that if I see letter A, I do something, but with any other letter, I stay in state 1. So I'm going to stay in state 1 with O, and then the next letter I'm reading is an N, and again, N is keeping me in state 1. So this is a non-final state. And so being a non-final state, the answer to my question is going to be no. The word alon is not recognized, and that's exactly as it should be. In this sequence of letters, you don't see alto. Here is another example. If I want to check the word altoia. So again, I'm reading. I start from the initial state 1, and I go letter by letter, and I change the state as I need to. And for the first 5 letters, the computation is already done, so I can just copy it from here. It goes in the same way. So alto is going to take me to a state. I'm sorry, this is an L, and so that's an L, brings me to state 4, and that's a T brings me to state 5, and then with letter O I come to state 6, and then in state 6 I have to read letter J. That's the next letter in my input, and the idea of state 6 was that anything you read is going to keep you in state 6. So with J you stay in 6, and then with A, which is the last letter in your input, you are going to stay in state 6, and that's a final state. And so the answer is going to be this word is recognized, as it should be, because in this word you do have alto as part of the input text you have received. So what I would like to point out in this example is that you have here the notion of a computation. So you start with an initial state, and you read from your input letter by letter, the whole input you have, and according to these rules that are specified in a way that I will define formally, and I just show them intuitively through this illustration here. So following these rules, you're just going to change your internal configuration. You are going to change your state. And you do that step by step for every letter of your input. And once you finished your input, you are going to check if it happens to be that you landed in a so-called final state, then you are going to give answer yes. The input you had is recognized by this particular machine, by this particular automaton. If you happen to land on a non-final state, then the answer is going to be no. The word you had in the input is not recognized. So recognized and not recognized is a central notion. Just one more thing I want to give in this intuitive motivation we have for automata. The way you can think about it, if you like this kind of automatic devices, you can think about them as being a device that has an input tape, and the tape is split into individual cells, and in each cell you have one letter. For example, you have the word maybe alon. But it could be also longer. But in this case, maybe it's just the word alon. And really what the automaton is just a device that has the capability of reading your input tape with a reading head, one by one. And after each readout, it moves one position to the right. And it never comes back. So it goes to the right and reads one by one these letters. And is going to finish whenever the input finishes. And what this device has is really just the ability of writing down in which state it is. In another way of saying it, it has a finite memory. It can just mark out, hey, I'm in state 1, whatever state 1 means, or I'm in state 4, or I'm in state 6. So it only has a finite number of such states. It only has a finite amount of memory to write down something about the computation it's done so far. And then at the end, when it comes here to the end, it just checks what do I have in my internal memory, and based on that internal memory, it's going to give one of two outputs, yes or no, and that's a yes no answer to the question. It's always the same question: is the input recognized for whatever task, problem this device is designed to solve? So this, I think, is a useful graphical illustration and motivation for the notion of automata. And we are going to stay on this notion for quite a number of lectures, pretty much the remaining of this course. And I'm going to proceed by defining formally what an automaton is in the next lecture.